When it comes to Patrick Baldwin Jr., Spurs fans, should the Spurs be saying go Spurs go or no Spurs no? What is up, San Antonio Spurs fans? Welcome to TSR Sports. The NBA Combine ends today. We're about 1 month away from the NBA draft where we have not one, not two, but three first-round picks. So it's a very exciting time to be a San Antonio Spurs fan. One player that's been mocked to the San Antonio Spurs, and I believe in one of my own mock drafts, was Patrick Baldwin Jr. with one of our later first-round picks. Well, suffice to say, he has not done particularly well in the NBA Combine last week, and I wanted to share this with you. It's a bit a little older news, but if you haven't caught it, because I do see some of you still saying you want him on the team, maybe this will change your perception of the player based on what we're about to go over. While I'm talking about Patrick Baldwin Jr., drop a comment down below. What I'm about to tell you, does that scare you away from him? Do you still want him in the first round, or would you be okay with him in the second round? If that sounds like you like sports channel, like subscribe for more Spurs content. So what happened with Patrick Baldwin Jr., player that has been mocked to our San Antonio Spurs? This happened on Wednesday, I believe. He had a jump of 23.5 inches standing and 26.5 max vertical. TSR Sports is a 44-year-old tax collector that is certainly well past his physical prime. That being said, I can still dunk the ball barely. It's not anything flashy. It's what you guys would call a WNBA dunk. I'm not going to lie. It's a one-handed run, right hand only. It's not going down two hands. It's not being reversed. It's not three. None of that nonsense. That being said, I can get to about here on a regulation rim. That's at about 4 or 5 inches from the middle of my hand, and I have an exactly 8-foot reach to the tip of my finger. What I'm trying to get to is I have probably about a 28, 29-inch max vert jump for me to still be able to dunk the ball because I'm 6'4". That's more than him. And he is a 19-year-old college basketball player in peak prime physical condition. This worries me. I know he's got a little raw talent. Jumping isn't everything per se, but jumping is going to enable you to dunk when needed, especially dunk in traffic, or if you're trying to dunk over a shot blocker. It's going to enable you to grab a rebound if you are 6'10 and the guy next to you 6'10. You have a 2-foot vertical and the guy next to you is a 3-foot vertical. Who getting the rebound? This dude. This is a red flag for me. A huge red flag. So much so that I don't want the Spurs to draft him in the first round. And I don't wish the young man any ill will. Hopefully, he still gets drafted if he decides to still, be eligible this year. Maybe this will make him sit back and say, wait a minute, this is hurting my draft value. Maybe I should just play another year of college, etc. But whatever it may be, this kind of makes me say, on the first round. If we took him in the second round and took a chance to develop him, whoever we're taking in the second round, Spurs fans, we already know. We know that player is going right to the G League unless they show us something crazy in preseason. Not likely, they probably won't get the chance. So I'd probably still be okay with him as a second round. Hey, let's take a chance on a guy that's got a lot of potential. The other thing that was alarming too, though, there's a couple of comments here. Are we sure he jumped? Did he jump with Timberlands on? But also, based on his vertical, apparently that would be the lowest. There's one other thing I want to point out, but that would be the 4th lowest max vert recorded at the NBA Combine since 2011. And there's another troll comment here, so I'm going to read it before I get to the last thing that I saw here. Have you ever gone on a date with someone very attractive who carried a ton of red flags? Maybe your friends and family thought it was a bad idea, but you kept going back for more. Yeah. You saw a pathway for that connection to blossom into a beautiful relationship that you couldn't deny. That's basically what's happening to whoever picks Patrick Baldwin Jr. Ouch. Baldwin has size, mobility, and great off-ball skills, giving potential suitors something to build upon, but his poor showing paired with the existing red flags could drop him out of the first round entirely. He also, and this is the other thing I want to pull up, he went 2 for 10 on one dribble pull-up. So dribble, shoot. I'm assuming they're not guarded. I don't watch the NBA Combine, but 2 for 10 is kind of bad. That's Jakob's a better free throw shooter than that. Infinitely better free throw shooter than that. Heck, Russell Westbrook is a better three-point shooter than that. That's saying something. So, I don't wish the young man ill will. I hope if he decides to declare for the NBA, he gets drafted. And they talk about this right here. Expect his stock to drop in mocks. The popular opinion by many after showing is that Baldwin would be wise to get another year of experience in college to build up his game and stock. I just mentioned that. Maybe go back to college. He's probably not going to. Time will tell if he ultimately does that or if a team will take a chance on him based on his raw skills. But it's looking like the Spurs taking with any of their first-round picks probably wouldn't be smart. And I would agree. We have the 38th pick. Actually, just says it right here. Could we get him with the 38th pick? Would you be happy with that? I certainly wouldn't be mad. I'd be like, okay, there's some red flags. We're taking a chance. This was a guy that was projected to go in the first round. Poor NBA Combine showing. I don't know what you read into that. We get him in the second round. Okay, let's develop him. If he doesn't work out, it was a second round pick. We have 4 picks this year, and I think down here, at the bottom of my heart, we're going to do the Spursy thing and throw 4 picks at the wall and hope 1 or 2 of them stick and become Spurs for life. You know what? I'm not totally opposed to that idea, Spurs fans. If one of these guys works out, great. If 2 of these guys works out, great. It's kind of what the New York Giants are doing. You guys, the line know I'm a New York Giants fan. They just said more picks, more picks, more picks. And if one of these guys works out, great. And if that's what the Spurs plan on doing, okay, fine. I'll support it. That being said, comment down below. Short video today. Patrick Baldwin Jr. Stay away in the first round. Would you still draft him one of those late first round picks? Or are you thinking, hey, if we're going to take him at all, take him in the second round? I plan on doing a heck of a lot more Spurs content moving forward. I've been busy the last few days, but now life is kind of back to normal. And I'd really like to get one of these draft videos up at least every day or every day or at least every other day, because there's a lot to talk about. With 4 picks, should we trade up? Should we trade down? Who should we take with that first pick? Should we? A lot of you said Jeremy Sochan. Sochan, definitely got to address him at some point. Would we take him in the first round at number 9? Even though that, based on some analysis reports, he's more of a mid 13, 17 type player. Does it matter if it's a guy you want? Does it really matter if you draft him a few spots ahead? I don't. Probably not, but there's so much to talk about with our team before the June 23rd draft, and it's an exciting time. And I think next year is going to be a really fun season for our Spurs. We made the play-in, and with the continued development of players like Kellen Johnson, Devin Vassell, and DeJounte Murray just blossoming this year into an all-star. I think there's a lot of potential, but I also do. I'm not naive. I do think we're one player away from being a legit playoff contender, and maybe we get that player in free agency. There's still talk about DeAndre Ayton. I've kind of cooled off on him because of his pretty poor showing in the last playoff series against the Mavericks. Is he a player you still want? I know I'm rambling because I love talking to the team, and I always ramble at the end of these videos. At least I'm consistent with that. But I want to thank you all for tuning in. And man, I can't wait to start talking about all the potential things happening with our Spurs over the next few weeks. Thank you for being here, and as always, go Spurs, go!